Hi, I'm Adi from Code for South Africa. We've been doing some analysis of the election data here at the Tshwane Election Centre, and I just want to show you some of the things we found out about women and how they fare in politics in 2060. So here what we see is a plot where we show all the political parties, or at least the larger ones, on a graph. So if you look at each one of the bubbles, they refer to a political party. The bigger the bubble, the more candidates that party had. If you look at this x-axis, that shows you the average age of the candidates in that party. So older parties to the right, younger parties to the left. If you look here, this is the EFF. It's a big party. It's obviously younger. You see it down here. The ANC, it's an older party in terms of the number of candidates. The DA is slightly older. On the y-axis, we have the percentage of women candidates. So this is the gender equality line. Every party above this line has more women than men. Every party below this line has more men than women. If you just look at it from afar, you can see that politics is dominated by men in South Africa, but there are a few interesting parties which are dominated by women. So for instance, if we look at this party and zoom out, you can see this is the South African Maintenance and Estate Beneficiaries Association, which has 88% women. The median age is 43 years old. What we can do as well is we can just look at some of the other parties. So let's look at the EFF. What we can see here is the median age is around 38. And they're close to a 50% equality of genders. ANC is very similar, whereas the DA is much stronger a showing of men than women. And just one more thing to note about this is independent candidates. You can see that they're far further down, which means that there are more men than women, and to the right. So independents are typically older men. You can see the Freedom Front Plus, for instance, that's also older and also dominated by men, and then all the other parties as well. If we look over here, this is what the elections have shown us so far, and it's around 12 o'clock on Friday, so not all the results have come in. But these are all the municipalities, and the darker the color, the more women who've actually won wards in that municipality. So for instance, if we look over here, this is Mangaung. There are 15 awards won by women. 13 of those were the ANC, 12 the DA. Over here, for instance, right, here 17 winners. You can see here that Tshwane, Ekurhuleni, and Johannesburg haven't yet been counted. We go down to the Western Cape, you can also see that Drakenstein also has 17 winners, but here it's 14 DA and 3 ANC. What we can see now is just the gender, what the ages of women are in the various political parties. So here we're looking at the ANC, the DA and the EFF. So this is obviously the ANC, the DA and the EFF. If you look over here at the EFF, for instance, you see that they have around 1,500 women between the 25 and 34-year-old age range. They also have 35 to 44s, but there's a sharp drop-off as you get older. Whereas if you look at the ANC sort of peaks around 35 to 54, although they do have a number of older candidates. And the DA, they also are a slightly older party. Here's a graph which shows the percentage of women as ward candidates. Now you can see that these are the top 10 parties in terms of the number of candidates. The APC has almost 40% of its ward candidates as women. The COPE is around 35, the ANC 33, the EF around 32, the DA around 31. And typically this is what you would see in ward candidates. Historically, voting has really been biased towards men. The parties generally respond to this by fielding male candidates for their wards. If you compare that to the PR lists, so just remember, when you vote for your ward, you vote for an individual, but when you vote on the PR, you're voting for a party. At this point, individuals or voters won't be voting on the basis of gender, but rather party, and this is an opportunity for parties to field more women candidates. And you can see this. The ANC has 61% of its women, of its PR candidates, they're women. Similarly with the EFF, that's 60. The DA further down is much lower, it's 34%. So the DA didn't really take the opportunity to add more women to its PR list. And then finally, what we can see is even if women are on the PR list, where do they feature? Are they at the top of the list, meaning that are they more likely to be elected to council, or are they at the bottom of the list? So here you see the average position of women in the party, that's in blue, and the average position of men in the party on the PR list, which is red. Now the lower the number, the higher they are on the list, that's better. So you can see nearly all of the parties have men lower down, which means that men are more likely to become to be elected to council than women. There are a few notable exceptions. Well, so for instance, the ANC, that has men 19.1, so on average they're 19.1, whereas women are 17.6. So on average, women are lower down, are higher up on the list, which means they are more likely to be elected. But you can see the IFP is a similar situation, 12.4 for women and 13 for men, so it's a very small difference, but it's there. And the DA, as we saw from the wards and the PR lists, you have men which are higher up on the list, that's 25.3 versus women 27.3. So I think one of the things that we can see in this analysis is that women are actually featuring in the elections. It's not that politics is now no longer being dominated by men. I think slowly but surely women are increasingly being represented. I'm hoping that in the next elections we'll see a dramatic change. Thank you.